There was a man who waited decades for someone to change his life. He hoped, prayed, and wished, but nothing came. One day, he realized the truth: no one was coming. That realization changed everything. What if the same truth is staring you in the face right now? For too long, many of us wait for a sign, a person, or a moment that will magically change everything. But waiting is a trap. Real change doesn't arrive, it is created. Every thought, every action, every choice you make shapes your reality. You might be hoping for someone to guide you to enlightenment or personal transformation. But the truth? No one can walk the path for you. You have to step onto it yourself. The first step is awareness. Look at your life honestly. What are you avoiding? What patterns keep repeating? Recognize them, and you reclaim your power. Awareness shines a light on where you've been stuck and shows you what needs to change. The second step is action. Spiritual awakening and transformation aren't passive states, they demand movement. Meditation, journaling, reflection, letting go of old habits, or even changing your environment, each small action shifts your consciousness closer to the truth that's already within you. Here's a simple practice: every morning, ask yourself, what can I do today that moves me closer to my true self? Even tiny steps matter. Over time, they build momentum, creating a life aligned with your higher consciousness. Transformation isn't linear. You'll face doubts, fears, and old patterns trying to pull you back. That's normal. What matters is persistence. No external savior will appear, your only ally is the consistent effort you make each day. Think of it like a seed growing in soil. No gardener is holding it up, but with water, sunlight, and care, it pushes through the dirt, reaching for the light. You are the seed. Awareness is your sunlight, action is your water, and persistence is the soil that holds you steady. Another truth many miss: letting go is as powerful as doing. People, habits, and beliefs that no longer serve you are anchors. Freeing yourself from them doesn't make life harder, it opens space for growth, clarity, and a higher state of consciousness. Another truth many miss: letting go is as powerful as doing. People, habits, and beliefs that no longer serve you are anchors. Freeing yourself from them doesn't make life harder, it opens space for growth, clarity, and a higher state of consciousness. Here's another exercise: identify one fear or limiting belief you've carried for years. Write it down. Then, imagine yourself stepping into your day without it. Feel the weight lift, even if only for a moment. This simple act rewires your mind, helping you step into your power. And here's a subtle, often overlooked point: your environment shapes your growth. Surround yourself with people, books, and experiences that challenge and expand your consciousness. The world reflects what you cultivate inside. Every moment you stop waiting, you reclaim a piece of your power. Every intentional choice strengthens your ability to create the life you've been seeking. And here's the twist: the moment you realize no one is coming to save you, something begins to shift. Something inside stirs that most people never notice, no matter how long they wait. The moment you stop waiting for someone else to save you, the world begins to look very different. At first, you might not even notice it. You're still used to the old patterns, still expecting guidance or answers to come from outside. But slowly, almost imperceptibly, something shifts inside you. A quiet voice begins to whisper. It doesn't shout or demand. It simply reminds you that you are capable of far more than you've ever allowed yourself to believe. It begins with small awakenings. You start noticing the choices you've been making unconsciously for years. The habits, the people, the routines you thought were harmless, suddenly, they stand out in sharp relief. You begin to see the cracks in the life you've been living, the spaces where stagnation has taken root, and the areas where true potential has been left untapped. For some, this realization is frightening. For others, it is exhilarating. But for everyone, it is necessary. No one is coming to save you, not because the world is cruel, not because you're undeserving, but because the power to transform your life has always been within you. Think about it, every hero, every enlightened teacher, every person who achieved something extraordinary, they weren't waiting for someone else to intervene. They faced themselves, their fears, their limitations, and they chose to rise anyway. The same is true for you. And here's the paradox: the harder you look for someone to save you, the longer you delay your own awakening. The moment you stop relying on others, the moment you take full responsibility for your life, everything begins to change. Opportunities begin to appear, not as magical gifts, but as doors opening because you are finally aligned with your true path. And yet, not everyone will notice. Most people remain asleep, hoping for rescue that never comes. You, however, are waking up. Waking up isn't easy. It requires courage, because awareness exposes truths you may have been avoiding for decades. It exposes patterns of self-doubt, fear, and limitation that have been quietly controlling your life. And it asks you to act, to step forward even when the path is unclear. But here is the thing about action: it doesn't need to be dramatic. It doesn't need to be perfect. Every small step counts. Meditate, reflect, write, or simply observe your thoughts. Each action, no matter how minor it seems, builds momentum, slowly reshaping your inner world, and your outer world will follow. Imagine, for a moment, that your life is a vast, uncharted landscape. For years, you've been wandering through fog, hoping someone will guide you safely to the next hill or the next valley. But no one comes. And slowly, you realize that the fog isn't hiding the path, it's highlighting the journey. You alone are the mapmaker. Every choice, every insight, every step illuminates the terrain ahead. You are no longer lost, you are discovering. The shift is subtle at first. You notice yourself questioning old beliefs. Do I really need this? Why am I afraid of that? What am I avoiding? These questions are the gateway to awakening. They sound simple, almost harmless, but they hold the power to dismantle entire lifetimes of conditioning. And once you start asking them, you cannot unsee the answers. Here's an exercise: spend an hour reflecting on one area of your life where you feel powerless. Write down every thought that comes to mind about why you feel stuck. Then, next to each thought, ask, what is within my control here? This simple practice will shock you. You'll begin to see how much power you've been surrendering to external forces, and how much has always been yours to reclaim. Reclaiming your power is not just about doing, it's about being. It's about showing up fully in your life, embracing both your light and your shadow. It's about accepting that fear, doubt, and discomfort are not signs of failure, they are signals that you are on the right path. Transformation is uncomfortable because it is breaking you free from old structures that no longer serve you. And that discomfort, it is proof that you are alive, that you are growing, that you are finally stepping into the life you were always meant to live. Many people never experience this. They wait. They hope. They look outward for guidance, salvation, or miraculous intervention. But the truth is, no one can give you what you already possess. You are the architect of your own transformation. Every thought, every intention, every choice shapes the life you are building moment by moment. And once you realize this, the possibilities become endless. Here's where it gets interesting. The moment you truly internalize this truth, life begins to respond. Not in ways you might expect, but in ways that feel uncanny. Situations you once feared suddenly resolve themselves. People who were obstacles either drift away or reveal lessons you needed. Doors you never knew existed appear. And yet, this is not magic, it is alignment. You are finally in sync with your true nature, and the universe reflects that back to you. But this awakening is not for the faint of heart. It demands that you let go of what no longer serves you. Old friendships that drain your energy, beliefs that limit your potential, habits that keep you small, these must be released. Letting go is not loss, it is liberation. It is the clearing of space for something greater, something more aligned with your higher self. And here's the kicker, the more you embrace your own power, the more mysterious life becomes. You begin to notice patterns, synchronicities, and signs that were invisible before. You start to sense the unseen currents guiding your journey. And while others remain trapped in the illusion that they are waiting for someone to save them, you realize the stunning truth: the rescue was never external, it was always internal. But there is one final piece, the part that most people never reach. Once you awaken fully to your own power, once you accept that no one is coming to save you, something happens that is difficult to describe. You start to see opportunities, truths, and paths that were always there but hidden behind the illusion of waiting. You start to sense the threads connecting events, people, and experiences in ways that feel almost impossible. It is as if the universe itself begins to speak directly to you. And here is where most people stop. They are frightened by this new awareness. They cling to old patterns, old fears, old comforts. But you, if you are ready, will take the next step. The step that moves you from understanding into embodiment. The step that transforms insight into reality. Ask yourself, are you ready to face what comes next? Because the moment you embrace this truth fully, your life begins shifting in ways that are unpredictable, profound, and irreversible. Opportunities you never imagined appear. Challenges arise that test you in ways you cannot yet comprehend. And through it all, one question lingers: will you rise fully into the power that has always been yours, or will you retreat into the comfort of waiting, hoping for someone else to save you? Here is the final thought before the cliffhanger: everything you've been searching for, peace, clarity, freedom, transformation, was never outside you. It has always been within. The realization can be overwhelming, liberating, and terrifying all at once. And just when you think you understand it, just when you think you are ready, life throws something entirely unexpected. Something that challenges every belief, every assumption, every comfort you've relied on. And that is where we leave it, for now. Because the moment you step fully into your power, the world responds in ways that are almost impossible to predict. What happens next could break everything you thought you knew about yourself, or finally set you free. Are you ready to see what's waiting for you on the other side?